guys, Dave the MMP back on YOLA for a little sailboat DIY fun. I'm thinking about upgrading my batteries. I've got 330 amps of lithium in the boat, and she's power hungry. I use power for pretty much everything: inverter, autopilot. I don't have a wind vane. I'm planning on going offshore. So let's take a look. My batteries are in the keel, and I've got one in the engine room. And they're all 110 amps, and they're frame size 31s. Okay, so here's where my batteries live, right below my table at my settee. And I've got two 31 size batteries in there. That's a pretty big size truck battery. And they're 110 amps. They're a dual type battery for lithium. So they say cranking battery on them, right? So you can use them as a starter battery, or you can use them just as a regular lithium battery for a house battery. And that's what I'm doing with them. I don't use them to crank. So these two are 110 amps each. I've been looking at the mini 300 amp batteries that they build nowadays. Renogy has them. A number of other brands have them. So I just made a mock-up out of foam board, and I just hot glued it together and with the dimensions of those batteries. And it's, I would say, remarkably bigger than the 31. So I tried it. I took this battery out and tried it in there. You can see all of the crinkle marks in this thing here and there. So I was able to force it in there. And then I thought to myself, did I make this box too big? So I measured it, and it's 8 inches across here, and the actual battery is 7.65 inches. The issue is when you go down here on an angle, getting it under there before it hits this. And I also had a problem with these little wood blocks that are holding the battery down with a strap. So I think if I shave off some of the block there, and I don't know about shaving off part of this, we'll see what happens, but I was planning on putting 3 of those 300 amp batteries in this boat. One here, one here. This one will definitely not fit. I'll never get that in that hole. That's just not possible. The 31 size battery that's in here is about as big as that can go. This is almost as big as it can take. So I don't even know if it's worth putting the 300 in there, because then it would be commoned up with the 110, and I don't like that. Or I just remove this 110 and turn this into a cooler. I could fill this with ice and put cans or bottles in there, because it drains into my bilge. So I could just throw a couple of 12 backs in there, throw all the ice in there, and it would keep it nice and cool. It's below the water line, so it'll stay nice and cool. And then maybe just have the one 300 amp battery in there, because the 300 amp would be a third more than both these batteries together. So I think that's probably the way to go. The other thing I thought about doing, this is my engine room. This is the backside of my Yanmar diesel in the engine room. And I thought, this is a battery that I built. It's got circular cells in it, large ones. And I thought about putting the 300 amp battery here. I'll have to extract this battery and try it. But I got a feeling then what's going to happen is it's taller than this battery. It's going to block off the access to my air cleaner, which it's not such a big deal. But there's a lot of stuff in here that I need to get to on the engine, the prop seal, all that stuff. Now, I could take the battery out when I'm going to do servicing on the engine. That's no problem. Even getting to the seacock for the engine for the water is down there. So I don't know. The 300 amp batteries, the minis, they're nice, but they're still pretty big compared to some of these other 24 and 27 series size batteries. Even the 31, it's even bigger than the 31. Okay guys, Dave the MMP, that's it for me for the weekend. Subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys next weekend for some more sailboat DIY fun.